TV themes are a perfect opportunity for a series to kind of tell you exactly what the show is going to be about. And there are a lot of iconic TV themes out there, but today I'm going to try and work out 6 of the most iconic TV themes by ear in just 30 minutes. And as I'm working them out, I'm going to try and explain exactly what's going on in my head as we go through it. So let's get into it. Okay, first up is the Stranger Things theme tune. Now, I do have a little bit of an advantage with this one because I did make a video about the Stranger Things theme tune maybe about a year ago. So I have played it before, but right now I can't remember how to play any of it. So hopefully just listening to it will bring back some of it. The first thing I'm trying to work out here is how many chords there are and what those chords are. You can do this usually by listening to the bass notes and working out the chords from those. Okay, so the chords are based around a C major 7 chord, which is just C major with an extra note, and then E minor. But E minor and C major 7 kind of have the same notes. E minor is just C major 7 but without a C in it. So you end up with this chord and then just the thumb dropping and then separating out the notes. So now that I know what the chords are and what the main motif or idea is, at this point it's mostly a case of practicing it. But I'm also trying to decide how I'm going to build the theme when playing it on the piano. In the original, the synth sound that is used sounds like it's getting bigger throughout the theme, but obviously it's not possible to change the sound of the piano, so I have to find another way of doing that. Okay, so this is probably going to be a quick one for 2 reasons. One, because I can kind of remember the chords, but also because there's not much going on. I think part of what makes this theme tune so effective is its repetitiveness. The other thing that makes this theme tune so effective is the heartbeat that's in the background. That adds quite a lot of tension. So this is the Stranger Things theme tune. Okay, on to TV theme number 2, which is going to be significantly harder, and that is The Simpsons. At the start of this theme, it's a bit of a sensory overload. When trying to work it out by ear, the first chord and set of notes is a little bit tricky to work out because it's a piece that uses quite a lot of clashing notes. I also remember from watching The Simpsons that this theme is not a straightforward 4-chord piece of music. It has a lot of scales and key changes, so at this point I'm panicking slightly about the amount of time that I actually have to learn it, as you will see from my face when I look at my watch now. At this point, I was finding it quite hard with the time pressure to actually focus on one part of the theme. I was trying to get a sketch of the entire theme, but then when I went back, I'd already forgotten what I'd just played. So I decided to focus on some of the scales that are used in the theme. Now I can feel that some of the notes are starting to stick, and I'm remembering parts of the theme, but but definitely not to any kind of performance level. When listening to the theme, every time the key changes, there's some kind of horn part or some unusual scale thrown in just to make it extra tough. The actual scales in the Simpsons theme are kind of 4-note patterns, but just to save time, I know I can get a similar effect by just playing normal scales. It's also starting to feel like I'm spending way too much time on this theme. I don't know who decided that I should try and work out 6 TV themes in 30 minutes, but that person is an idiot. There is a lot going on in this theme tune. There's like 4 key changes, but it starts in C with F sharps in it, but then it keeps changing, so you end up on B, and then you end up on E, and then you end up back on C. And I've got to try and remember where all the melodies are. Now I am really starting to feel the clock drain. I've spent over 10 minutes on this one theme with 4 more to learn after this, and I'm aware that I don't know how difficult the other 4 will be to learn. If any of these themes are as weird as the Simpsons theme, then this could be my first failure in one of these challenges. So here I'm just trying to remember the theme in sections by what key the music is in, and I still have Lisa's saxophone solo to learn. It's starting to come together, but maybe not to the standard I'm happy with. Hopefully this is the one that's going to be the longest, but just so I don't use too much time, I'm going to do a shortened version of it. Because working out the piece by ear is not the difficult part, but remembering everything that's happening is the bit that is making this more challenging. A little bit messy and simplistic, but hopefully you could tell what it was. Okay, next up we have the ever-classic SpongeBob SquarePants.
Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
I can't hear you!
Aye, aye, Captain!
Oh! Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Under the sea!
SpongeBob SquarePants!
Absorbent and yellow!
My immediate thought listening to SpongeBob was, what am I doing with my life? I'm joking, of course. SpongeBob is an excellent theme. My initial thought was, I am so very glad that this is a much simpler theme, so it's much easier to hear the bass notes, work out the chords, and then work out the structure of the theme pretty quickly. Hopefully I can make up some time here. So this one basically comprises of 2 sets of chords. You've got G major, and then C major, and then you've got this left-hand thing going on. After that, it's just a case of working out what the melody is, and the melody is quite repetitive, so that's also not too bad.
SpongeBob SquarePants! SpongeBob SquarePants! SpongeBob SquarePants! SpongeBob SquarePants!
When I'm trying to work something out by ear, as you can probably tell, I don't care too much about being accurate. I think of it like sketching out the piece and just getting some paint down. Then, like I'm doing here, I can start refining it and make it into something more performable. Okay, this is SpongeBob. Yeah, that one was definitely fun. Okay, next up we have the theme from the TV show Friends. As you can probably hear, there's a bit of stabbing in the dark going on at the start of working out this theme, and that's because I work out pretty quickly that the first chord is A major, so I'm expecting notes from an A major scale. But that isn't actually the case for some of this theme. You get G major chords, which wouldn't normally be in an A major scale. Having worked out the kind of chords that the Friends theme uses, it's quite predictable, which might be because I've heard the Friends theme a lot, so I'm almost able to work it out by ear in real time as I'm playing it. The problem with that, however, is once again, remembering it. Okay, so this one is a little bit obscure in what the chords are. They don't really fit in an A major scale, which is what I was expecting, but the chords do feel quite natural, so it wasn't too difficult to find them. So this is the Friends theme tune. Okay, next up is the Game of Thrones theme tune. This is another one of those that I have played when I've taught it to students in the past, but for the most part I can't remember what happens. The interesting thing about the start of the piece is that it uses a C minor chord but then changes to a C major chord. The melody mostly uses notes that are in the chords, so they aren't too difficult to find either. So with 7.5 minutes left to work out this theme, and one more theme after this, I'm now feeling pretty confident. So the main theme for this is kind of based around 4 chords, which is C minor, G minor, B flat major, and then F minor. Having worked out the main section of this theme, there is now only the second section to work out. The second section is in a major key, but once I've worked that out, it's actually also quite predictable. The middle section kind of goes into A flat, so you get A flat, E flat, F minor, and then C minor. But not a lot is happening in the melody at that point. So here is Game of Thrones. And lastly, we have ScoobyDoo, because that is a classic.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? We got...
Watching this back, it is actually kind of funny how it goes from me hitting what sounds like random notes, and then suddenly I'm playing Scooby-Doo. What I'm actually trying to do is find the key of the theme using the bass notes, and then I know that the melody is probably going to be something that I'm going to be able to make an educated guess at from the notes in the scale.
And Scooby-Doo, if you come through, you're gonna have yourself a Scooby snack.
This one is in the key of A, and it uses the chords A, B minor, E major, and then in the middle bit it uses a D major chord. All of these are pretty standard chords for A major. So once again, it's just a case of working out the melody, and the melody is always the most important part with TV themes, because that's the thing that you remember. I think in theme tunes that are being written today, a lot of it is based on the sounds that they use and trying to create a particular atmosphere, whereas in the classic theme tunes, it's all about memorable melodies. So this is Scooby-Doo. So there you go, that is 6 iconic TV themes learnt by ear in just 30 minutes. If there are any TV themes that you think I should have done, then let me know in the comments. And if you want to see me work out the top 10 most played songs on Spotify by ear in just 20 minutes, then check out this video and I will see you there.